Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast episode here. And happy hump day to everybody out there. Hopefully, dropping stuff on my desk, but hopefully, you guys are enjoying your Wednesday. Um, yeah, so I figured I would do this live stream just to kind of get everyone hip to the fact of, one, what is TSMC? Because I got that question in the other video I dropped. What's up, Gene? Welcome in. So I'm going to answer a little bit about what TSMC is, or Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. We'll talk a little bit more about them, and I'm sure you guys heard of some of the products that they do work with. One major one that they do work with, I'll make mention here once we get into it and kind of talk a little bit about it. Also, then when you guys see the Q&A little bubble pop up in the bottom corner on the left, it definitely means that the Q&A is opened up. I'm going to open up the grounds for people to ask questions about the Pixel 8a and anything that they want to know about it that I can answer that I've already experienced or messed around with or pretty much know about. I'll answer that, including questions that have to do with like real world usage. Those things I'll get in touch with here in just a little bit. But welcome in. I'm glad to have you guys here. So we'll kind of get started. So I dropped a video the other day, literally, and it was just talking about the Tensor G5. And I know that the Tensor G4 hasn't even been released to the public yet. That's coming in the form of the Pixel 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL, which I'll also talk about here. Something pretty interesting regarding made by Google events, but that will be at the end. So stay through the entire podcast if you guys want to know exactly what's happening with that and the craziness. But so for most of y'all who know or hear a lot about it, Google has partnered with Samsung, since the first Tensor G1, and they've used Samsung to help manufacture their chip. So Google lays out the foundation of what they want, what they want in their chip, how they want it built, and Samsung manufactures it for them, right? So this is why a lot of people always go to that. It's an Exynos chip. It's an Exynos chip. And so many times I would tell people, I'm like, yes and no. Like, yes, it's an Exynos chip because Samsung manufactures the Exynos processor chip. And so obviously, because they have their way of process, like developing a chip, a CPU, they would do it would be habit for them to kind of build, something similar for Google, based upon what Google wants, the types of cores that it wants, like how many high powered cores it wants, how many, low power efficiency cores it wants. Like they go off the schematics off that. So one of the problems was that, obviously it was using an Exynos modem, which is what, you hear the word modem and you think your Wi-Fi modem, or you pretty much have an idea of what a modem is. And so, the connectivity on Google Pixel devices weren't always the best when it comes to like the Pixel 6, the 6a, the 7, 7a. It's gotten better with the 8 and 8 Pro and the 8a, I'll tell you that much. Putting my Boost Infinite SIM in my Pixel 8a, and I've had better connection to 5G Plus on AT&T's network than I have on the 7a or the 6a. So, it pretty much just like, it's not the greatest. When news came about that, Google was partnering with TSMC, for those who know what TSMC is, we were pretty excited. We were like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, why not? Try it out, And I think one of my biggest mistakes in that video that I made about the Tensor G5 was, assuming that people knew knew who TSMC is. I didn't know, but that's my bad. That's not on everybody else. That's on me. That's on Tito. Let's blame it on me. That's all I'm going to say. So TSMC stands for Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. Obviously, in what it is, they develop technology, they develop processor chips, etc. And they've actually had a symposium going on in 2024. A couple of them here in the U.S., and they've already since passed. So, there's no reason to really focus on those because you can't go to them. It's already happened. It happened in April. But If you still are unsure of who TSMC is, they are currently the ones who manufacture the processor chip for Intel. So if you've heard of an Intel processor and you like Intel, well, I guess this will kind of give you an idea, hindsight, of who's going to be building the Tensor G5 going forward. So, let me bring up, TSMC's page real quick, and yeah, we'll just have a look around. We'll have a look see. Um, there we go. I had to move the tab out to a different spot here so that way I can double up on my double screens. Anyway, yeah. So this is TSMC. This is talking about their 2024 technology symposium, right? Powering AI with silicon leadership. So it has the event dates. Like I said, the one here in North America already had passed. Let's see. Yeah, that passed. So in 2 days they have one in Japan for the JTS, Japan Technology Symposium. Basically, what they're going to be what they're going to be talking about, honestly, is just the upcoming developments of their method of building processor chips and how they're going to be done. So let's just kind of go back to the home page. Yeah, no, it uses cookies. I accept. Let's see. Future R&D plans. So in the future, they're looking to actually create a 2 nanometer logic technology platform and applications. So that's, if you know a lot about processor chips, how they're built, so what they're built for, you'll definitely know a lot about it. I'll actually let me go back to the home, and I'll drop the link to their site in the chat so people can pretty much go in there and read the website for themselves at their own leisure. Yeah. Let's go back. Well, it's cycling through all its stuff. So the N2 nano sheet, the new frontier in advanced technology. So there's, not trying to get like too nitty gritty into the whole, tech space, but yeah, TSMC N3 FinFlex, ultimate design flexibility. So this is just what they're talking about. And Google has partnered with them for them to build the Tensor G5, which is going to be a 3 nanometer processor chip rather than a 4. Obviously, one of the things about processor chips and what these companies intend to try and do is create a processor chip that's powerful, but also efficient with power and small, right? Basically compacting such a powerful chip to process things in such a small design, and they continue to try and do that to obviously more space on the board, but ultimately not losing any performance out of the chip, right? So but you just don't want a chip that is like super powerful, because also a lot of power processing equals a lot of heat. So they want it to be, powerful enough to execute what, needs to be done, what needs to be processed. The chip is like the brain. It has to understand, what it needs to do. Sapping the power of your battery on your smartphone in order to be able to execute that. So it's got to be very battery efficient. That's because you don't want a powerful processor with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery and you're only getting 30 minutes of screen on time, because it's using up a lot of that battery. So yeah, you definitely don't want that. And yeah, obviously tasks that don't require such high level of performance, you got to have an offset. You got to have a balance of it. You got to have those low cores that are, power efficient and also able to just handle like the basic stuff. Um, so yeah, just to kind of give a little bit of an insight. Let's see. I want to know about their investor. There we go. So let's give you the overview. We'll go over the overview of TSMC. No, I don't want research. I want to go to overview. All right, so I'll read this verbatim, but TSMC, it has pretty much like its disclosure name for, stocks and stuff like that. Created a semiconductor dedicated IC foundry business model when it was founded in 1987. In 2023, TSMC served 528 customers and manufactured 11,895 products from various applications covering a variety of the end markets, including high-performance computing, smartphones, the Internet of Things, aka IoTs, automotive, and digital consumer electronics. Annual capacity of the manufacturing facilities managed by TSMC and its subsidiaries exceeded 16 million 12-inch equivalent wafers in 2023. These facilities include 4 12-inch wafer gigafab fabs, 4 8-inch wafer fabs, and 1 6-inch wafer fab, all in Taiwan, as well as 1 12-inch wafer fab at a wholly owned subsidiary, TSMC Nanjing Company Limited, and 2 8-inch wafer fabs at wholly owned subsidiaries, TSMC Washington in the United States and TSMC China Company Limited. In August 2023, TSMC announced its plan to jointly invest in European Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, ESMC, in Dresden, Germany, to build a specialty technology fab. ESMC aims to begin construction of the fab in the second half of 2024, with production targeted to begin in the end of 2027. TSMC continues to execute its plans to construct and operate 3 fabs in Arizona, Arizona in the United States. I think they meant to say, but they put the United States. So, giving us all the glory. Thank you. The first fab is on track to begin production, leveraging 4-nanometer technology in the first half of 2025. The second fab is scheduled to start production in 2028, and the third fab by the end of the decade. The company is also a majority owner of Japan Advanced Semiconductor Manufacturing, or JASM, manufacturing subsidiary in Kumamoto, Japan. JASM first fab is scheduled to begin production in 2024, and it's planning to build a second fab, which is scheduled to begin operations by the end of 2027. If you're wondering, like, what the hell is a fab, it's basically a manufacturing plant. So yes, they have built some here in Arizona, and I do believe one is actually running right now, because there's been a lot of talks of the company hiring. So there's, yeah, how cool would it be to work for TSMC? Anyways, so literally that is TSMC. That's what they are. For those who want to know exactly what they are, that's what they are. And the fact that Google has partnered with them and has strayed away from literally Samsung. Like, what does that mean for Samsung? Like how does this play out for Samsung, who literally, obviously there's been some there's been this partnership, this I don't want to call it an unseen partnership, because most of us who follow tech have seen it. We have seen the relationship between Samsung and Google. Obviously, Google getting foldable technology from Samsung for the Pixel Fold and for the future coming Pixel Fold. And, at the same time, Samsung was obviously given a lot of things, including access to Gemini and Gemini Nano, which, you'll find in the Galaxy S24 series. Which is on-device AI compared to cloud AI. So, now that Google is going to stray away, they're going to go with TSMC to be building their future processor chips. For now, does that, what does that do for Samsung? I mean, where does Samsung lie in all of it? Because Samsung was already, they already know the Exynos chips is not that good. They know that. This is why, for US based Samsung Galaxy devices, for their flagships only, they kind of go to Qualcomm. Well, they don't kind of, they do. They go to Qualcomm for their processor chip for their flagship Galaxy S series, right? It's the mid range ones like the Galaxy A series that ends up, getting the Exynos chip. Like the A, what is it? The A50, A53, A54, A55, like all those have Exynos chips. Things like the Exynos 1280 on the A53, the Exynos 1380 on the A54, and then the Exynos 1480 on the A55, right? So no Snapdragon, 6 Gen 1, 6 Gen 2, or 7 Gen 1, 7 Gen 2 on any of those. It's been Exynos. So a lot of people just kind of like, okay, what's going to happen with Samsung now? And Samsung has stated that they wanted to go back to the drawing board to revamp their entire, Exynos processor chip division, and just kind of come back with something better. I think that's a kind of cool idea. I'm honestly all for companies to kind of manufacture their own parts. But now latest talks are saying that Samsung may just completely ditch building the Exynos chip, trying to revamp it, and just sticking with Qualcomm for their processor chips and going forward from there. And if that's the case, I know some people will be happy about that because they love the Qualcomm chips. Like I see on social medias like X, people will post a photo and then, put a little hashtag, shot on Snapdragon or shot on Qualcomm. It's like, obviously, and I know they do that to kind of like rub it into Google Pixel users who like to use shot on Pixel to define that the photo was taken on a Google Pixel, and then say like, phones with Qualcomm Snapdragon chips can process photos pretty good too. And I know it's always a competition, and competition is good. I am never somebody who says that competition should end. There should be a one time for all companies, like all manufacturers, like phone manufacturers. So anyways, I do see that the partnership with Samsung is slightly ending. I don't think it's going to be something where it's like Samsung's completely cut off. Samsung accounts for a high volume of the of the market share for operating systems, right? So when you look at Android, the slice of the market share for Android, if you look within that piece, a high volume of it is going to be Samsung. So theoretically, if let's say like Android has a 75% market share globally of those that use Android operating system, of that 75%, let's and I'm just guesstimating here. This is not facts, but I would ballpark it that 56% of it is going to be Samsung. A lot of people go with Samsung. Like for a long time, Samsung was considered to be Android. Like when people said Android, they thought you were literally referencing Samsung. The craziness of the tech space. They didn't know. So with that being said, all this kind of like gives an idea of TSMC, what they are, some notable things that they are involved in, which is Intel. They do create Intel processor chips. And so if you're wondering like how good are they, how trustworthy are they, if you like Intel processors, if you think Intel processors are good, then that should kind of give you like a good sigh of relief. And it'd be very interesting to see how well the Tensor G5 performs, to be honest with everybody. And yeah, so anyways, I gotta look at the time to timestamp this. So anyways, we're switching off, and it looks like that there's a Made by Google event coming, and it's coming a lot sooner. Trying to grab the info. I should have had all this stuff up, but you know, I was just excited to get on here and do a live. Plus, I'm trying to do a live stream before it gets even more hotter. Right now, it's like 100 and something degrees. And it's starting to heat up. That's why you guys hear my fans going off to keep my room cooled down. But it's gonna get a lot harder today. Okay, so yes, that's what I meant. Okay, so I'll put this link in the chat for those people who want to actually read it afterwards. And this is just speculation for right now. Nothing is confirmed as to what's going to be talked about at this coming event. Sorry, it's getting a little bit laggy here. I don't know why it is. Oh, shut up. I hate pop-ups. I generally hate pop-ups. There's just so much ads on this page. Give it a minute to load on my end. No, I'll just do it this way. Really like the YouTube ads on the web page. Like some pages have like a gazillion ads on it, and it takes forever for the page to load because it's constantly trying to load the ads, and like the ads have like I call them string ads because they consistently have like ads that play video. We froze there for a second. Jesus. Oh. Sorry about that. I hit to stop. This is really bad. Sorry. I'll make sure that it's not going to get jittery before I start telling you guys this info, because I don't want it to, like, you guys to miss any parts about it. Why did my channel didn't grow? Can't tell you. I mean, it doesn't grow as fast as other people's does. It still grows, though, because I'm getting closer and closer to 13K. So, anyhow. Looks like Google is doing a Made by Google event on August 13th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 6 p.m. BST. So this is out of left field. This is superly out of left field because normally Made by Google event is in October. Yet we're getting one in August 13th. 5 days before my birthday, we're getting a Made by Google event. That's absolutely crazy. But you know what's even more like weird about it, if anyone thinks, and let me share this on the screen with you guys so you guys can actually just see the announcement itself. Let's see how long it takes to load this page up on the screen. There you guys have it. Yeah, so it says, well, surprise, surprise, Google seemingly has more to tell us after an hour-long I/O opening keynote. And maybe wants to beat out Apple, which typically hosts a September special event to show off new hardware. As a technology giant just sent out invites for a Made by Google event. When? Well, it's not announcing an October event ultra early, but instead has a few things to show us on August 13th, 2024. And then it has like the little thing right here that talks about, from Jacob. Well, not from Jacob, to Jacob, as an example. It says, "Hi, Jacob. You're invited to an in-person Made by Google event where we will showcase the best of Google AI, Android software, and the Pixel portfolio of devices. Tuesday, August 13th. So Tuesday, August 13th is the Made by Google event. It's not in October this year. That is kind of surprising. That is kind of surprising that Google is going to do the Made by Google event 5 days before my birthday. So, hey, Google. When is the Made by Google event in 2024?
On the website laptopmag.com, they say, although Google just sent out invites to Made by Google 2024, you don't actually have to be invited or even registered to watch the event. If you want to tune into the Made by Google keynote on August 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, you can watch live via the Google Store website. To find out more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
Thank you. August 13th.
I'm here to help.
August 13th, 2024. What do you guys think about that? So what can we expect at the Made by Google event? This coming August 13th. So that's in a month and a few weeks, right? It's not even 2 months away because we're already hitting July at the end of this week. So it's literally going to be a month and 3 weeks away. So wow. First of all, I'm kind of shocked that Google did this, but I'm thinking Google's it's like that inventor that invented something really cool and usually shows their new inventions to everybody in October, but they're so excited for what they have now that they just gotta tell everybody, right? They don't, they got loose lips. So what can we expect at the Made by Google event? Well, they kind of already clued us in on what we're going to expect. So they're going to be talking about more AI. I think I think a lot of us has had enough of AI conversations with Google because the Google I/O event was just one big AI event. They didn't even bring the Pixel 8a on stage at Google I/O this year, which I thought was, it was a missed opportunity. It was a missed opportunity because they could have showcased a lot of what their new AI was doing with the Pixel 8a hardware on stage. Let's see this. Bro, your channel didn't grow. Many tech channels get 30,000 subscribers in a day. Okay. Many of them get 30,000 subscribers in a day. I don't know about getting 30,000 subscribers in a day. I've been on YouTube since 2011. It's something that I enjoy doing. But yeah, they don't get 30,000 subscribers in one day. They may get it in 1 month. Some of them may get it in 2 weeks. It just depends on, how likable they are by people, because that's determining factors, right? So it depends on, what they're doing, how they're producing their videos, those types of things, just to kind of add on to it. So yeah, that's just how it is. I mean, myself, I don't grow that fast. I know I don't grow that fast. It doesn't damage what I want to do. I'm still going to do what I want to do. B-Tech has gone through the same thing. He's had a rapid growth in his early phase of YouTube. Right now, he's kind of in the same boat that I am in. But I wouldn't say that people get 30,000 subscribers in one day, like all tech channels do, because there's tech channels like my buddy Team VRY that's has a steady flow of growth. It's not a fast growth, but every month he's adding in newer subscribers that his growth is still happening. There's other guys that are under 10K. As a matter of fact, if you really want to know the statistics of how all this stuff works, check out Roberto Blake and listen to what he's got to say, because that guy is he's somebody that helped a lot of content creators kind of understand more about YouTube, kind of helps them so they can position themselves on what they want to do on YouTube and achieve what they want to achieve. And yeah, you'll be surprised at the numbers, actually. You'll be surprised. So yeah, I'm not that big, and it's not a big deal for me that I'm not at 30,000 subscribers. So I love my numbers on my channel. I have 179 subscribers, and I'm happy with that. Yeah. And you know, growth comes over time. You know, maybe, you know, there's a niche that I hit that people kind of want out of my channel, and that explodes it. Or maybe it'll never happen. I don't think it'll ever happen because I've been on here since 2011. I think my days were already numbered. Like, the peak of my channel was like back in 2015, 2016. And then after, you know, burnout and just kind of stepping away for a little bit, focusing on my job and not putting up so much content, and then coming back after that, it's just never been the same. So it is what it is. No, you didn't demotivate. No, I'm not demotivated from this, and I'll tell you why. You know, just so you understand, the numbers of subscribers don't. It's not the most important part. The most important part is the views. Okay, like you can have 30,000 subscribers, and if you upload a video and you're only getting 2 views on it, that's, you know what I mean. So, like, I'm not getting thousands of views like guys like what's one of my new favorite creators. Well, he's not new, but he's new to me that I started watching. His name is Upwards. I love his videos. Like, you know, he gets thousands of views on each video that he drops. Who's another one? Simple Alpaca, who loves to cover mostly iPhones, but other smartphones. You know, he gets thousands of views on each video, right? And I don't get those types of numbers, you know. But when you kind of look at just like how YouTube as a platform is, and the numbers that you're getting in views, and then of course you guys have to factor in how many people are actually in the YouTube Partner Program. Not everybody who reaches over 1,000 views, you know, 1,000 subscribers, and etc., are accepted into the YouTube program. So the numbers is like, you know, if I get 100 views, according to Roberto Blake's, you know, layout of things, I'm pretty much hitting in the top 10%. If that makes any sense, just go to his channel and watch what he has to say. I mean, he breaks it down, you know, pretty better than I will, you know, because he understands YouTube more than I do. I don't delve into the algorithm and all that stuff. I just make videos, upload it, let people watch it, and gather the information from it. On my other discussions on my other channels, I do different things on those channels, like talk wrestling, movies, stuff like that. So, but no, I'm not offended by what you're asking. I'm not one of those types of people that gets in my feelings. It doesn't hurt my feelings. And I'm not going to be like, you know, not like unmotivated to do any more content. I'm still going to make videos. Like I said, I'll be that old geezer in his 60s, which is, you know, 20 years from now. If YouTube's still a thing, I'll still be uploading videos and I'll still be doing live streams. I'll just look way different. I'll be more wrinkly, and maybe I'll have full on white hair by then. But yeah, right now I'm just enjoying doing this in my 40s. So, but other than that, back to the discussion. August 13, we're getting a Made by Google event, and like I was saying, they're going to showcase the Pixel 9, well, the Pixel 9 series, and that's what's strange and crazy. So, to me, is like, are they going to start releasing the Google Pixels in September? Because, you know, the way that I feel about it, it'd be nonsense to show off your newest device, your Pixel 9, your Pixel 9 Pro, the rumored Pixel 9 Pro XL, and possibly what they say they're going to call it the Pixel 9 Fold. I don't know. To me that's a ridiculous name. Just call it the Fold 2, or, you know, the whatever. Calling it the Pixel 9 Fold, I don't know. But to show off those devices, that hardware, on August 13th, but then say that it's going to be available for people to buy in October, much less the end of October, like October 20th, October 24th, or whatever they want to release it at. That's like a 2-month wait. Like, that will kill the momentum of your smartphones, because again, you're going to be giving like Team Pixel is going to be getting these devices, right? And like the major guys in Team Pixel, because now Google doesn't just give out Pixel devices to any content creator that's getting a lot of views. They stick to specific people. So there's people that's still getting the devices, and there's Team Pixel people that have not gotten anything from Team Pixel in a while. But we'll know the major ones will get it, So like MKBHD will get it, and what if I listen to my videos in Hindi? No, I don't. I don't even speak that. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a thing that converts what I'm saying into that language, or if someone's actually doing that to my channel, like grabbing my videos and then converting the audio. I have no idea. But no, I wouldn't do that. They're not the brightest. Well, I don't want to put it in such a bad way, because to me it seems like it's a major shift. If they're going to start having the Made by Google event at the end of summer, like an end of summer blockbuster type of thing, I mean, honestly, it's not a bad idea. I just want to make sure that if they're going to show off the Pixel 9 series and the new Pixel Watch 3 and the Pixel Watch 3 XL and the Pixel Fold and whatever new hardware that they also have coming, obviously they're going to be talking about their Nest products as well. If they're going to do this in August, in the month of August, then I feel like that, the release should be in the beginning of September. Not too far away. Because the Team Pixel guys are going to get it. We're going to see, because I know they have embargoes put on them. They're going to have NDAs in place. And so we know that they're going to get the devices. They're going to have time with the devices, but they can't really talk too much about it until, certain embargoes are lifted, and then they can actually talk about it. So, with that being said, like, I guess the only way you're going to like really kind of see like the Pixel 9 or 9 Pro or 9 Pro XL is if you happen to be in New York and you happen to run across MKBHD in public, you may see the Pixel 9 in his hand, because obviously they're going to give it to him a few weeks before the Made by Google event, allowing him time to actually use the phone and get acquainted with it to be able to come up with videos talking about it. Appreciate it, Gene. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. But it's still kind of confusing. But at the same time, too, it's 5 days before my birthday. So that's like a nice birthday gift from Google, is, showing us the Pixel 9. Because the Pixel 9, the 9 Pro, the 9 Pro XL, this is a little bit different for Google, because normally they're just used to making like the 9 and then the 9 Pro. They're not at the Google store, and at the Google store in New York on August 13th. But if you probably want to see it before August 13th, like maybe the beginning of August, you'd have to catch those guys like MKBHD. They're going to have the device before the Made by Google event. Obviously, it's going to be sent out to them, especially him. He's like one of the largest tech YouTubers on the platform. So obviously they want the product in his hand, so he has a lot of time to really mess with it. But yeah, this is the first time that Google is releasing 3 devices in its flagship release, rather than just 2. We're getting a regular size Pixel 9 Pro, and then we're getting a 9 Pro XL. The 9 Pro XL is obviously the larger one. The 9 Pro will be the same size as the Pixel 9. The only difference between those two, obviously, is the amount of camera sensors. Obviously, the telephoto sensor will be on the 9 Pro, but not on the 9. And then, storage capacities. And of course, if you want to talk about visual looks, obviously, the Pixel 9 will have that glossy finish in the back. I don't like that. And we'll have a matte finish for the 9 Pro and the 9 Pro XL. Like, come on. Just do matte all the way around. Of course, it'll probably be an exclusive color for the Pixel 9 Pro and 9 Pro XL that's not on the 9, but the 9 will probably have an exclusive color for that lineup. It's weird how Google does it. I think Google really needs to just kind of get together, and just make this more of a consistent thing rather than a spread all over the place, let's try something new thing. That's like one of the biggest things that shoots Google in the foot, is a let's try something new thing, right? Like, they introduced Project Soli on the Pixel 4 and 4 XL, and the facial recognition unlock was bar none a good competitor to Apple's Face ID. They've never since brought back that type of face unlock. I mean, well, it kind of did with the Pixel 8a. I mean, this has level 3 security facial recognition unlock, so you can use the biometrics for facial recognition for like banking apps and stuff like that. Where if you go on like on the Pixel 7a that has face unlock, it will not work with banking apps as a form of biometric security. Same for the Pixel 7, it won't. So the 4XL and the 4, it had that level of security with its face recognition because that's all it had. It didn't have a fingerprint sensor on it. There was no fingerprint sensor on the Pixel 4 or 4XL. So because of that, they never brought back the Soli radar chip. They never brought it back. They never brought that level of face recognition unlock for Pixels back. And there is a small group of people that actually really enjoyed that and really liked it and really want it to come back. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like Google will try something and then they'll get rid of it, and then you've just built a small fan base for it, and then now you're ditched away from it. Now you're gone from it. You're not even doing it anymore. Is Project Soli a scrapped plan? I don't think so. Like I haven't heard anything that said that Project Soli was scrapped or anything like that. That they completely shut down the project itself. So because of that, I'm like, if Google's going to start doing it at the end of summer to reveal the next flagship device, like why not? Let Apple have the fall, because Apple has always been doing their hardware keynote in September and then releasing new iPhones in the end of September, beginning of October. And Samsung's got the beginning of the year pretty much going on for it, right? So like January, February, around there is when the new Galaxy S series comes, with the new Galaxy S Ultra series coming. So Google should just take the summer, right? And then there's always an active release every year, and there's at least a good amount of months in between them. Like having Pixels and iPhones released at the same time, I do feel like that, in some ways it will overshadow the other. So plus two, there's probably something going on with the AI that's going to be involved in the Pixel 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL. Obviously, probably on-device AI that Google really wants to get out there before other companies start, releasing the same thing with a very similar vibe to it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like beating them to the punch, especially in AI. Like you don't want any other company to beat you in releasing AI features, especially when that's like your secondary main thing, right? Like we all know that search is the main bread and butter of Google, but AI is quickly becoming the secondary for bread and butter for Google. So they're very, very invested in AI and going forward with that. So if they have, like they said, they have more AI stuff to tell us. What up, BTech? They got more AI stuff to tell us. They're going to show us the hardware, the Pixel portfolio, which obviously consists of the Pixel 9 series, possibly a Pixel Fold 2, maybe, and the Pixel Watch 3 and 3 XL. So we'll get all that on August 13th, 2024 at the Made by Google event this August. And yes, for those joining in on the live stream, Made by Google event it's not in October this year. It's in August of this year, August 13th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thoughts on CM Punk getting toasted on SD? We'll save that for the podcast whenever you're ready to do that. If you make your video in Hindi language, your number of subscribers would increase very quickly. But I don't speak Hindi. Like I'm not gonna do something that's not authentic to me. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I'm not. Like, basically, if you want to know my ethnicity for my mom's side, I am Thai, Lao, part Chinese, and Mongolian. And from my father's side, Puerto Rican. That's my ethnicities. So no, I wouldn't. That'd be cool. But can't do it in the Hindi language. First of all, I don't speak it. So it would be counterproductive if I did it in that language and then somebody who fluently speaks that language asked me a question. I wouldn't be able to answer it. I'd have to use Google Translate. And to me, that while it's nifty to use Google Translate to translate things, but at the same time too, if I don't have my Pixel phone with me, then how would I communicate? You know what I mean? So I appreciate the suggestions. Always open to suggestions for what people have. That's cool. But I wouldn't do that. Not for the sake of subscribers. Like I told you, the subscriber numbers is not the most important thing to me. The view counts is the most important thing to me, and that's what matters. Like in my opinion, that's what matters on the channel itself. As long as I'm hitting over 100 views on a video, I'm good. If it's below 100 views, I do what I can to market it more to get people to see more of it. But subscriber counts don't matter because, like I said, you can have 1 million subscribers, and if you're only getting 1 view on a video, your channel's performance is really bad. Oh man, you caught it. Yeah, we could do a live Friday for sure, man. They just talk about AI now. Well, at Google I/O they talked about AI. I already read the event invitation that's been posted online to other people. So it's an in-person event. It's an in-person event, so a lot of like major creators are getting out there to go to this event, and they've already said what they're going to be talking about. Yes, that's part of it. AI is part of it. They said they have more AI to talk about at the Made by Google event, as well as new Android stuff. And then they also specifically said, and their Pixel portfolio, which means, and they're not going to be talking about the 8 series, the Pixel Watch 2, like that's already been talked about. So the only other thing in the Pixel portfolio to make mention is either the Pixel Fold. It could be an event where they completely highlight the Pixel Fold, or they're actually going to drop the Pixel 9 series, the Pixel Watch 3, and other Nest products. So we could be seeing that. Yeah, I think they do. I honestly think that they do. And that's just because of the advertising companies are based in the US. So what they're paying out here, obviously. But that's on view counts. So when you have higher view counts, that's where you make the money. Like the subscriber counts, the subscriber number for YouTubers only matters if you reach the threshold that allows you to apply for the YouTube partnership program. So let me kind of clear this up for future content creators. Just because you hit 1,000 subscribers and 5,000 hour watch time, and you meet the criteria that's requested for the YouTube partnership program, just because you hit those goals doesn't mean you're automatically accepted. You hit those goals and you apply. Some people have been rejected even though they've met the criteria. They've been rejected by the YouTube partnership program, which is the partnership program that allows you to monetize your videos. But when you get over that and you become part of the YouTube partnership program, then it's all about views. And it's like, it depends on what the CPM is compared to your RPM. The CPM, which is what the advertisement company is going to pay out, they can say, we'll pay out $5 for every 1,000 views you get. Okay. So now you have a trajectory. You want to make, $10, you got to get 2,000 views. You want to make $50 off of that. Well, then you got to get 50,000 views. That's how that works. Your RPM is what your video is actually performing at. So if the CPM, which is for every 1,000 views, say is $20, and your video that you've uploaded has gotten like, an RPM of $13.72, means that you're not hitting the 1,000 view mark, but you're at a percentage of it. You're probably like at, maybe like 776 views. So that's how that works. I'm already part of the YouTube partnership program. I've been part of it since 2011. So the subscriber counts really don't matter. It's the view counts that really counts. If you're trying to make this a viable thing for you to just live off of, then the views is where you really want to focus on. Yeah, I've looked at mine. Some of my viewership comes in, from India as well. Small. I think it's like 6.5% of my viewership comes from India, and the target is Google Pixel phones. So that's pretty cool. But majority of my view counts come from the US. I love that. Well, I don't know if I can show you guys what it says. It says spam likely. Why can't the actual spam company call me and say, "Hey, we're gonna send you a truckload of spam"? Because that would be a lot better than just calling me to just like try and hijack my info. Like, come on, man. 6.5%. Yeah, 6.5% of my viewership comes from India. But anyways, yeah, so that's gonna be like real interesting. And yes, I did have this up, not a QR code, but I did have this up. So Q&A on Google Pixel 8a is live now. If you guys have a question about the Google Pixel 8a, go ahead and ask it in the chat. I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. Um, but yeah, I'm still highly shocked. August 13th, 5 days before my birthday. Like, come on, Google. Like, it'd be cool if it'd be cool to fly out there and to be at the event, to have an invite to go. It'd be cool. At least before I die. Maybe one day. I'll get spoiled by Google. They'll fly me out to an event, put me up in a hotel, and then let me like sit at the event live and just geek the fuck out. Because that would be so awesome to be able to do. Anyway, shout out to Google. Google, bring back Google Plus. I'm still fighting for that. I still want Google Plus to come back for everybody else. You want the aloe or blue? No, the aloe is pretty nice. It's a pretty nice color. Blue's a nice color too. Now I got, before Father's Day, I understood now why my wife was like, if I got a Pixel 8a, which color would I be the most happiest with? And I told her there's only two colors that I really, really like out of the Pixel 8a setup. That is this color, the aloe color, green, or the obsidian black. The black color to me looks beautiful. This does too, but the black one looks beautiful too. Like, I love that color. So, but I'm happy I have the aloe one. Kid got it for me for Father's Day. It's amazing. I miss Google Plus too. Also, Gene, I definitely miss it. Let me bring out the chat. There we go. So that way other people can see your guys' questions. I like the white one too. It looks classy. It looks more premium. Yeah. I don't know what it's called, porcelain, and it looks pretty good too. I'll probably go to Best Buy and see, because I think when Best Buy has like demo units, I think they either put the obsidian or they put the white color, like snow or porcelain. They put it out. So if they have the porcelain one out, I'll go over there and just kind of like mess around with it. Let's see. I want Google Plus 2 and Periscope. I mean, Periscope is like built into freaking the X platform now, formerly known as Twitter. So you can still go live on Twitter. It's just in the user interface for it is nearly the same. Periscope, it was like a satellite app to Twitter. Should they separate it? I think they should. Especially now that Elon has basically talked about X becoming like a platform for content creators. And yes, you can make money on X. Of course, their threshold of what you need is a lot higher than YouTube. I think you need like 10,000 followers to be able to start monetizing your tweets and to turn on active subscriptions, where people have to pay a subscription fee in order to see some of your posts on Twitter, known as X now. So I do think they should separate the live streaming into a satellite app again to allow, because you can upload videos longer than 2 minutes if you have a subscription to their their premium. You can upload longer videos. I think max is like 10 minutes. Speaking of Periscope X, it don't work on your phone? Really? I thought it was a glitch on my old Samsung, but it's the same on the 6A. The streams just don't work for me. Like viewing it or doing a stream. This kind of like, yeah. Anyways, a little workaround for those that want to go live on X without using your mobile phone, and because they don't have a way to go live through their website through x.com. You just use this Restream and you can go live on X. Wow, that's interesting. I'm wondering if you kind of go into your Google Play Store and you change your region and you download the X app, like re-download it, like delete it off your phone and re-download it, if it'll let you view the X platform through the app on a different like view it differently, and maybe it'll show the live streams then. I think, so one question I did get though, or like discussion talk, is like, if does my Pixel 8a overheat? I think that's like one of the biggest things, because same thing was asked about my Pixel 7a right there. Did it overheat? And it's like, no, it doesn't overheat for me. I use my phone differently, so I don't know how people are using their phones that's causing it to overheat, like what type of processes you're running, and then it starts to overheat. But all my day-to-day functions, I'll tell you guys what I'm using this for. So I watch YouTube videos on it in my leisure time. I get on Twitter. I get on Twitter and post. I get on Threads. I post. I go on Instagram. I look at people's posts on there. Same thing on Facebook. So I'm always on social media. Isaac, what's up, man? Welcome in. So I'm always doing that on my Pixel 8a, and then taking photos. I think the one thing that really kills my battery performance would be when I create content from my Pixel 8a. When I record video, when I take photos, that starts to eat up the battery. Obviously, shooting and I don't even shoot in 4K. I shoot in full HD, 60 frames per second on both the selfie and the main camera sensor. And I know that just by doing that, it starts to eat up the battery. So like if I started like right now, my battery is sitting at 100% battery. So if I started recording content, to put together a 7-minute video or whatever, and then edit it through, the YouTube Create app. I love using that app to edit. I use CapCut as well, but I also like the YouTube Create app. It works really good. But I'll edit a video on there, render and upload. So doing all that from 100% battery, it'll drop down to like 84% once I'm done and the video's uploaded and everything. So that is like my biggest battery killer. But aside from that, this is what I normally do. I don't run games on there except for like Pokemon Go, and that's not a very power intensive game. When I was telling you about heating, it doesn't shut off as overheating. It just gets hot, like 40 degrees Celsius. You can check the battery temp. Yeah, no. I know some people's phones get like, they overheat. There's like little factors to that. I do know that my Pixel 8a does get warm, but it gets warm when I have my Metro by T-Mobile SIM in here, which is using T-Mobile's network. Like if I was to switch it up and put the Boost Infinite SIM in here, which is on the AT&T network, it doesn't get warm. So that's also a determining factor too, right? It's like, your connection to whatever network service provider you're with. And then, of course, how you use your device, like what you're doing on it, just by using Instagram. Yeah. So again, it's those things. Like on my Pixel 6a, which is my secondary device today, on this, it doesn't heat up. I have it on Boost Infinite, which is AT&T's network. And I do the same things on here. I watch YouTube videos, do Instagram, all that stuff. And it won't get warm. Now, if I go outside, that's a very different thing. When it's like, today the highs are expected to be about 111, 112. So it's 112 degrees outside. Doing basic things, my phones will always heat up because it's hot. It gets hot on Wi-Fi too. Yeah, that would be the modem. Because like my Pixel 6a is on Wi-Fi right now. I'll run a speed test, not to test my Wi-Fi performance speeds, but just run it. And it's not going to warm up. Later in the day, it will warm up. Once inside here, like in my apartment, the highs, it gets to like 92 degrees in here when it's like 112 outside. It's crazy. So I can only see who's watching the live stream because I use Restream as streaming service. And so I can see that it tells me there's 7 people watching right now. I don't know how many people is actually watching on YouTube because I am multi-streaming to 2 places. So one's going to my Facebook page, one is going to YouTube. So it could be all 7 of you guys on the YouTube side. It could be 6 of you guys and 1 person on Facebook. So I wouldn't know who's actually watching on TV. But the view does count because I do watch people's stuff from Google TV, like Sneed Mobile Tech when he goes live with his panel of friends, and I watch it on my TV, when I'm lying in bed. It shows a count because I'm signed into my Google account on Google TV. It shows, he gets a view, even though it's from a TV. So I guess I would say yeah. But yeah, as far as like overheating, no. By the way, again, I'm going to keep saying this, but if you're just joining in now, do know the rumors are true. Made by Google event is happening August 13th, 2024, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So. That's funny. You guys can keep the questions coming with the Pixel 8a. Throw it out there with VTech. 15 months as a member. Yeah. I am putting out, stuff for members. Members do get early access to videos that drop. So when I do upload a video, you guys may get several hours a head start to be able to view it before everybody else does, or you guys get like 24 hours. Usually I go as much as like releasing it 24 hours in advance for members of the channel before it goes live for everybody else. So there is something I'm working on because I want to be able to do this and like not just do like 1 or 2 episodes, but actually maintain it as something that's exclusive for members only, to give my members something, because there's a few of you guys that have become members to the channel, and yeah, you guys deserve stuff. When do we get free merch? When I have merch to give, like the merch that you guys see on my channel that's being sold. What do you call it? I haven't designed anything else. I've actually talked to somebody through DMs who was willing to design, like to come up with a graphic design for a shirt for me to sell. And it's weird because there's some things in the conversation that I'm just very weary about. So I'm not good at designing shirts. So that's why I haven't designed anything else, to come up with to sell as merch. But yeah, people don't buy merch from me anyway, so it's not like a focal point. Like if people were actually buying the shirts, I think like Gene bought a shirt, I think, if I remember correctly. But if like nobody else is buying, shirts, hoodies, long sleeves, crew necks, or whatever I chose to put the graphics on, there's no point in me focusing on that because nobody wants them. I will only put my focus and energy and effort into something that people are focused on. Watching the YouTube stream. Anybody got questions about the Pixel 8a or the Pixel 9, or TSMC? What are they? If you guys want to know like intricate details of TSMC, which is going to be the developers for the Tensor G5, the first 20 minutes of this live stream actually outlines who they are. But just in a quick nutshell, TSMC are the ones who build the Intel processors. So, and you guys should or probably do know what the Intel processors are, right? Like the Intel i5 core, Intel i7 core processor that's built by TSMC. You got a question? What is your question? Yeah, places that you guys could actually hit me up on if you guys ever want to like jump on a live stream with me and have a conversation. Always like whatever social platform you guys follow me on, you guys can always DM me. How does the 8A feel in hand compared to the 6A since it's rounded? Does it feel nicer? Is it even smaller? Yeah, it does. It does feel, if you talk about the ergonomics, it does feel more comfortable to hold on to the Pixel 8A. The Pixel 6A is not that drastically different. I'm going to go out and say that just because, yes, I know that this is more rectangle and yeah, this is more squared, like more rectangle, more rounded. I guess where my pinkies naturally relax at, yes, you can feel the difference. This is obviously going to be more sharper over here. just because of this, rectangled build versus its rounded build right here. Pixel 8a is more heavier than the 6a, but not like super heavy. Like, you're not going to sink to the bottom of the ocean if you fall in the water with this. And as far as like display is not. I've never been one to be angry at bezels. So displays, I can't really say, like, oh my god, this one's so much better than this one, because to me they feel about the same. And is the display quality the exact same? No, the display quality is not the exact same. There is a very small difference between them, slightly. As far as like color representations and saturations and stuff like that, it's more prevalent on the Pixel 8a than it is on the that started to cause interference with the microphone, than the Pixel 6a. But it's not like a super drastic thing. Like, that's how it is today. Like, everything is like small incremental. So when you look at the screen of this and you look at the screen of this in the naked eye, they seem decent, right? Well, if you stare at it long enough is where you start to see like, color representation, saturations, that type of thing. When you're talking about like moving through the displays, they're both set at 60 hertz. So I don't see a significant difference when it comes to like the fluidity and the refresh rate of the display. But yes, you do get 120 hertz refresh rate on the Pixel 8a. But the thing to know about how the refresh rates work on here is that it's only utilized when the phone feels like that it should be utilized, right? So if you're like going on Facebook and you're scrolling, it may not go up to 120 hertz for the refresh rate. It may go up to 90. It may stay at 60 hertz, but it's not something that will be actively turned on always, because obviously they want to make sure the battery is safe. Now, there is a way you can get in there and force 120 hertz refresh completely on the Pixel 8a. Sneed, what's up, man? Welcome in. By the way, dude, August 13th, 2024 is the Made by Google event. Invites have been sent out to creators, so it's been a talk of news. So, Made by Google event 2 months early this year than previous years, where it's always been in October. So yes, it's still plastic. The body build on the back, this is still plastic, but it's got a nice feel to it though. Like, people talk about like the matte finish and stuff like that. It does. This is why people call it glastic. I do see where other creators have stated in their reviews that if you never told them that this was plastic, that you would think this is glass. It's only until you tap it, doing a little ASMR here, is where you can tell that it's plastic. But it feels nice. It feels nice in the hand. I'll give it that. It doesn't feel as slick as the Pixel 6, the Pixel 7 that are actually made of glass, because like even with the Pixel 6a, plastic. But if it does feel like glass, when I first held this and held the Pixel 6, they feel the same in hand, just by touch. Right? It's only until you really just tap on it you'll know the difference. And of course, if you drop it, I've dropped the Pixel 6a like 3 times without a case, and it's still fine. It's still fine. I kick this lamp on so you guys can actually probably see it better. Yeah. Now, if I drop a Pixel 6 or a Pixel 7, the way I dropped my Pixel 6a by accident, well, I meant 6a by accident, I'm sure those things would have totally cracked. Yeah, it does feel nice in the hand. I will be honest with everybody though. If you're using a Pixel 6a and Gemini Nano is not an importance to you, there's no reason to upgrade. Or if like having 7 years of software support is not important to you, then there's no reason to really upgrade, because Android runs the same way on this as it does on the Pixel 6a. Applications run the same way. Everything else runs pretty much the same way. There is a marginal like difference in feeling, and before I make a claim on it, I'm going to continue to use it just because I want to make sure for a fact it's not a placebo effect of it being a new device. and that it actually is, a tad bit faster as far as like what you're doing on your device when you're in Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If there is like, a marginal difference because of the Tensor G3 compared to the G1, or is it a placebo effect in that, it's just because it's a new device? Like those are the things that like I'm kind of like focusing on before I drop, an updated review on the Pixel 8a, probably like in the middle of July, maybe end of July is when I'm actually going to focus in on that and like I've been planning this, so I have my notes and everything. I'm pretty sure that video is going to end up being about a 20-minute long video. Like I'm no longer trying to condense videos to only like 3-4 minutes. I'm a blabbermouth. I ramble a lot. I have ADHD and I need to use it to its full capacity. And so I'm just going to start making fucking long videos and getting out what I want to say. Because that's one thing I hate. I hate uploading a video, rewatching it to make sure that everything uploaded, the audio is fine or anything like that. And then I think of something that I should have fucking said in the video that I forgot to say. And if I just take my time and I'm not worried about shrinking a video down to like 5 minutes, I know I can get most of my points out there that I want to say and not have to make like 3 or 4 videos about the same phone, because I know that repetitive, more Google Pixel 8a videos being dropped one after another, eventually people just get tired of it's like, oh fuck, Tito's talking about Pixel 8a again, and they don't watch. On this Android phone I'm using now, a month ago, it updated to Android 14. Cool. I got Android 14, so what phone is it, Gene? Because when you say it just got Android 14, I'm either thinking that it's one of the OnePlus devices, the mid-tier OnePlus devices, or Motorola. Because Motorola, like I like Motorola devices. I think they're coming out with some of the coolest shit ever, right? Like right now, YouTube is going to be swarmed with the Moto Razr Plus and the Moto Razr 2024, right? Reviews, unboxings, and stuff like that. That's the newest device released from Motorola, is their foldable Moto Razr. The only thing that really irks me about Motorola is like maybe like their flagships will probably get like 1 or 2 additional software updates, but their mid-ranges don't. They maybe get like 1, right? Like the phone that I have, the Moto G Stylus 5G 2022 got bumped up to I think Android 13, and that's where it currently sits now. It hasn't gone any further. And I damn well know that phone could run Android 14. Just don't want to. The T-Mobile Revels, they have a 6A? Or is it the T-Mobile Revel 6? That'd be a really weird, interesting naming scheme for T-Mobile to have a Revel 6A 5G. Because I know like their latest T-Mobile Revel, I think the Revel 7 looks so much like the freaking OnePlus 10. It does. I'm sorry, but it does. No, to be quite honest with everybody, the 6X. I was like 6A. That's interesting. That'd be cool if T-Mobile had the Revel and it had mid-range. But then again, like the only T-Mobile Revel phone that I've used was I think the Revel 4. The big freaking pinkish black one. I used that and it reminded me so much of the Solero phone, so it was like, it was okay. I don't know how the new Revels are today, and I'm not interested in using them. Just nothing against them. They're not bad phones. It's just, yeah. But I wish Motorola would update their devices. Honestly, I really wish that they would. I really wish Google would be consistent with their Google Pixels and have a good timing. And if this is going to be the new norms, perfect. Leave it in the summer. Leave Made by Google event in the summer, Apple in the fall, and Samsung, in the winter, springtime. Then it gives a good amount of time for people to, like it gives a good amount of time for the Pixels, for the iPhones, for the Samsung Galaxy S's to really kind of have like their time to shine and all that stuff. I'm not a fan of overlapping. I'm not a fan of like iPhone release in September, Google Pixel in October, because there's just so much happening. People's attention and focus on things is very minimal these days. So it's just the iPhone comes out. It's like, oh my god, the iPhone 16's out. Yeah, we're gonna get it. Yeah, I'm saving up my money to get the iPhone 16. Oh look, the Pixel 9. It's like, why do that to people? Have a good bit of space and let these things actually duke it out. The Pixel people are gonna swarm and flock to the Pixels. The iPhoneers are gonna flock to the iPhones. The Galaxiers are going to flock to the Galaxies, and just let it be that. And then the people in between that don't stick to a specific brand can bounce anywhere in between. So we'll see what happens. But of course, be prepared, because they did say in their opening statement for the Made by Google event in August that they got more AI to talk to us about. So it's like, oh my God, more AI. Like, did they not get all of it out? They dedicated Google I/O 2024 specifically to basically AI. So that's why people were making jokes about it, calling it should have been called Google AI 2024. I thought they've gotten everything they needed to talk about with AI this year out at that keynote event, but I guess not. Because they got more to talk about with the Pixel 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL, possibly the Pixel 9 Fold, the Pixel Watch 3, and yes, if everything correlates and looks good in my book, my Pixel Watch Gen 1 is going to get replaced by the Pixel Watch 3 XL. Yes, Google is putting out 2 smartwatches this year, and they're going to have a larger XL one. So, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with my Gen 1. My wife says she doesn't want it because she likes her Fitbit Versa 4 is what she has, but I want to get her on the Pixel Watch though, so she has more free range to do things, because like she's paying for Fitbit Premium to be able to take calls on her Fitbit Versa 4. I don't know, because I didn't look into that to see if for Fitbits, do you have to pay for that feature? My Pixel Watch, I don't have to. I can take calls on this, no problem. It's as long as it's connected to my Pixel 8a, I can take phone calls on my Pixel Watch. I mean, yeah, I actually want my wife to take over. She's got smaller wrists than me, so this wouldn't look tiny on her wrist. So I think what I'm just gonna do is, because like I did order some stretchy bands for my Pixel Watch, more comfortable bands for me to wear on my wrist. And I know it's like a 5-pack, and I know one of them is like a pinkish color. So I think I'll put that watch band on this when I give this to her, because it's so good. Like, it's the reason why I didn't go to the Pixel Watch 2. If you guys can see, I have always on display on. I get a day's worth of battery out of my Gen 1 Pixel Watch. Like, before, with always on display on, this thing would kill out in like 4 or 5 hours. It's actually lasting me an entire day. And my days consist differently because I do track my sleep. So right now, it is currently sitting at 44% battery. It'll usually get down to like close to like 22%, maybe like about 1 in the afternoon. And I put the watch to charge anywhere between 1 and 2 p.m. I put it to charge back up to 100%. And I put it back on, and it lasts me throughout the evening. It lasts me while I go to sleep. So then that way I can go into Fitbit and track my sleep, because I have very poor sleep. For some reason, I just can't get the sleep that I wish I could get. So like today's sleep score, I slept, it says 7 hours and 57 minutes. So a lot better than what it was yesterday. It says my sleep score is 86%. What it tells me here is that my REM cycle, 1 hour and 57 minutes. I had 4 hours and 43 minutes of light sleep, and I had 1 hour and 16 minutes of deep sleep. So, let me see if I go into the week. So yesterday I got 5 hours and 36 minutes of sleep. I slept from 1:03 a.m. to 5:59 a.m. Says I had 1 hour and 5 minutes of, REM cycle, 2 hours and 22 minutes of light sleep. I was like 34 minutes slightly awake in my sleep. And then deep sleep was 54 minutes. Those are my sleep stats. Most days, I usually sleep like 4 hours, sometimes 3 hours. The other night, I was really like aggravated because I was like suffering with insomnia. I couldn't sleep at all. Like I tried so bad. That whole night was just dragging on so long. Like I was tired and ready to sleep like about 11:20 p.m. So I started laying down. I got off my phone and I was just like getting into a relaxed state, just laying there. But all of a sudden, I couldn't fall asleep for the life of me. So then I was like, okay. So I got back on my phone, started going through Twitter, reading everyone's tweets, liking people's posts, that type of stuff. Couldn't sleep. I put in my earbuds so I wouldn't wake my wife. And I turned on some, believe it or not, I turned on some ASMR sleep relaxation sounds. I probably went through like 2.5 hours of that and still could not fall asleep. Like I was dead ass tired. My body was drained. I wanted to knock out and sleep, but I just couldn't. And then, so then I switched that. I put my phone to charge. I turned on the Google TV and I paired my earbuds to my TV so it wouldn't wake my wife. And I went onto YouTube and I turned on some more ASMR relaxing sounds with visuals and was just watching like 4 hours of just like river creeks with water flowing and leaves just kind of going down the river and, you know, this nature sounds to try and relax me. It switched up then from that to like being at the ocean on a hammock. And, you know, I heard the ocean break, you know, crash into the shoreline. I switched from there to being like in an open field under a starry sky at night with a campfire going. It just switched into all these different scenes and sounds, and nothing put me to sleep. And then, so then I was like up the next day all day. And I was like, okay, you know what? Tonight's going to be good sleep because I didn't sleep at all. So I figured if I went to sleep that, you know, I would definitely, you know, get a good night's sleep that night. And I thought I was going to knock out around 8-9 o'clock, laid down, and I was wide awake. I was superly wide awake, and it pissed me off. So even getting up and doing like some push-ups, sit-ups and stuff like that, trying to, you know, make my body work some more, because I was figuring like, okay, you know, if I can't get to sleep, do a quick 30-minute workout might make me tired enough to fall asleep. And shit, that didn't work. I mean, it worked to like, you know, get me feeling good, and that feel good made me energetic. And then even like a couple of hours after that, I did not feel tired at all whatsoever. So sad case point that is. Any other questions regarding the Pixel 8a? We're about like half hour into the live stream, so I'm about to call it a day. If you guys have any more questions on the Pixel 8a, then definitely ask them. There's no such thing as a stupid question except for the ones never asked. So if you do have a question, ask me. If I can answer it, I'll tell you. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. And that'll be something that I'll probably focus on to try. Yeah, normally you want to work out an hour or two before you go to sleep. But that night when I was like dealing with insomnia, I was trying anything I can to make me tired. So I figured, you know, doing a workout in my room, like I pulled out the yoga mat. It was so cool though, because my wife did not wake up. So I can say I was quiet like a ninja, because she didn't, and she can easily be woken up by sound, but she didn't wake up. So I pulled out the yoga mat, did some stretches, started doing, you know, my sit-ups, push-ups, things like that, grabbed the weights, little light weights, nothing too strenuous, right? So I was hitting like, you know, 45, doing curls at 45 and whatnot. I was hoping, I was doing that like at 2 something in the morning. So I was hoping to at least knock out by like at least 3:15 a.m. the witching hour, at least knock out by then. But no, I couldn't sleep for nothing. Normally I could have went for a run. Like I could have grabbed my dog Velvet, my German Shepherd, and went for a run. But this neighborhood's not the best one to kind of go into at night and run around. Especially lately. Lately, people have just been very weird. Yeah. But for this Made by Google event, I hope that some of my friends who I trust get sent a Google Pixel. Like, Google, come on. Like, I want to see Sneed get the Pixel 9 Pro or 9 Pro XL. That'd be dope as hell. And the Pixel Watch 3 XL. To hear his thoughts on it, and also taking the Pixel 9 series and then seeing how it does with connectivity and stuff like that. Like B-Tech to get the Pixel 9 would be cool. Kind of sad to see that like the Team Pixel thing just kind of like changed up a little bit, and it's like primarily focused on the ones that I call more commercialized. Yeah. Anyways, I do have a couple of things I gotta take care of. I want to thank everyone that jumped in and watched the live stream. Appreciate you guys for being here, hanging out with me, and talking story with me. To the guy that was like, telling me to change my language of my YouTube videos to Hindi to get, thousands of subscribers. I appreciate the suggestion, but it's not something that I'm gonna do. I'm not worried about subscriber counts, just worried about viewership. That's really my main focus. And yeah, again, August 13th, 2024, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. BST time is the Made by Google event. You guys can watch it at store.google.com. They'll be live streaming it there. And more than likely, they'll be live streaming it on YouTube as well at the Made by Google YouTube channel. So you guys can see the live stream there too as well. Also, like I said, again, if you guys wanted to grab a little bit more information about TSMC, who they are, like I said, the first 20 minutes of this live stream, I focus on that. I tell you about the Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company is what they're known as. And, so that way people can understand who they are. They are the ones who build the processors, the Intel processors for Windows PC laptops and such. So now you kind of have an idea who they are. And so, yes, it's a very big deal that Google is switching over to TSMC for the Tensor G5 and going forward. Also, the Tensor G5 being built at a 3 nanometer process rather than a 4 nanometer process. Obviously, that has to do with the chips and everything like that, how it's placed, all that good stuff. So yeah, at the very beginning, we kind of like take a little stroll down the TSMC for people to understand. Yeah, and then if you guys have any suggestions for the future podcast, drop them in the comments. If you're watching this as a replay, #ReplayCrew. We appreciate you guys for doing that. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. #Hump Day for today, because it is Hump Day. It is Wednesday. And I'll see you guys next time, probably next Wednesday. Be on the lookout for more videos. And if you're a member of the channel, that's awesome. There's some content for you guys, and you will get early access to content. If you're not a member and you want to consider becoming a member, hit that join button below. You can become a member, and videos that I post up, you guys will get early access to before they're released to the rest of the public to watch. Until then, thanks so much for your guys' time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe out there. Stay cool, because I'm going to dunk myself in the bathtub with ice water for like half an hour. Freaking 112-degree heat. And the humidity's high because it rained last night, and it rained the night before. So we're not at this like dry heat today. We're going to be very humid. Calls for I think is like 78% humidity. Sucks so bad.